indication or the ban on it or the restriction. There we go. You just heard the acceleration, hands off the wheel, because you never know what's going to happen.
So it made steady progress through to 14th when he tried to pounce on Gutierrez.
Concern at McLaren, who's a fan of Fernando Alonso, just watching the race here today, but Alonso walking away from that incident.
Rosberg's early braking point gave Bottas a hint of a chance on Hamilton, but a collision became inevitable. It left the Finn with...
Yeah, consider...
In first practice, there was an alarming moment for Felipe Massa.
Wise for the others to have a look at that. Whoops. Horrible, horrible feeling. Then the car always accelerates on the grass, which is wetter.
Problems and resulted in the second clash. On board with Vettel, who instinctively reacted to the Red Bull, he firmly laid the blame at the Russian's feet. Furious with Kvyat's aggressive approach, Hamilton tried to avoid the chaos from the back. He was powerless to avoid the Sauber, and a difficult weekend went from bad to worse.
To Sebastian Vettel, that's why Ricciardo had to take avoiding action.
So he knocks his right front, lining up beautiful inside to Ricciardo. Wait for it, wait for it. Oh, there he goes.
Riding on board, we see how he could do nothing about the impact which ended his afternoon.
The rotate, as they call it. It's not going to be him. Is it going to be him again? It is him again.
That's, I think, the worst of the two crimes.
He's already got a puncture. So he turns his right rear puncture. Oh, he's ran again. He gets another.
I'm out! Crash! Somebody hit me in the...
Definitely didn't expect him to do that. And the next thing is, you know, him spinning on the grass and taking me out.
Third place, Daniel Ricciardo. Hamilton sees the light flashing, realises the speed difference and commits to the overtake down the right-hand side rather than the left. Ricciardo can hardly believe his luck.
I mean, he had a big accident here, didn't he, Felipe Massa, in his Ferrari days, if you remember. But into Sandevot, as soon as he turned in, the back end just went. Yeah, there's nowhere to go, is there?
Having issues, haven't they?
Esteban Gutierrez, just like this, but managed to save it earlier, didn't he?
Iedereen op het punt, maar hij crasht wel. En hard ook. Maar die auto die uiteraard de rest van de training niet meer terug.
The damage to the rear wing. Get his bail ready. Coming back.
So, as he comes out of Rascast, he looks at his left. Well, it looked like he did. And then...
The hill and make sure you try and stay flat over the crest into Casino Square. Nice long left-hand corner. Oh, that's
dear.
Nasty. Julian Palmer met de Renault. En de problemen met de wegligging zijn daar nog niet.
The Dutchman brushed the inside barrier. The corner had been modified for 2016 to allow the drivers to attack. Really struggled to get the power down. A brush with a white line meant heavy contact with the wall as he was rendered a passenger. He was worse for the Austrian team at Massenet. Another accident for Verstappen.
Second gear. And just the minute he got the power down, went up to third. While he goes around the track, his teammate Pascal Wehrlein won't thank him for that, because Wehrlein had to pass him on the track and would have slowed him.
To leave enough room and suffer the consequences. with laps rapidly running out to make the move. Rosberg spun.
Got close. About 10 minutes ago, I think it was, but...
Track, Hamilton had dominated all 3 practice sessions to be the red-hot favourite for pole. But a glance at the wall in qualifying would scupper his chances at turn 12. Verstappen fell foul of the deterrent at turn 10, breaking his front suspension.
You're trying to achieve that. How do you do it?
Does he turn the wheel before he moved? A little red light came on, didn't it? Just before the car spun round. Did you see that?
Striking without warning, the tyre failure dramatically retired him from the race. But brake failure left him helpless at 190 miles an hour. Thankfully, the gravel slowed the car.
My position, and I have the corner, and I have the right to dictate the way.
But the stewards disagreed, taking a dim view of Rosberg's.
As we know,
it looks like he hasn't slowed down a huge amount.
he only just... Does he actually touch the asphalt? I'm sure he does touch the astroturf, but it's only just, isn't it?
Wehrlein pushed hard as he started his 7th lap, but track conditions caught the Mercedes Junior out.
I lost the kind straight line, aquaplaning.
Left-hand side as he goes in.
We'll watch again.
Just see, they're all trying that, and it's just stopping them doing it. We saw Vettel doing it this morning.
Was less composed on track. More work for the mechanic.
Чуть-чуть на газ, в то время как правое заднее колесо находилось на бордюре на выходе из 4-го поворота, и все. Машина мгновенно вальсирует, становится неуправляемой. Хюлькенберга был мега-круг в этом.
Road backwards there. It's right on the limit of grip. He hasn't really done anything wrong. He was probably a few centimetres more into the standing water than he wanted.
F1, when an unexpected spin dropped the Renault out of contention at turn 4.
Copy, keep pushing on the way.
Things were equally tight in the midfield. To benefit from Button's lock-up. But the youngster was caught out, eliminating both drivers. For his 2nd points of the season as he approached Eau Rouge. A chicane with nothing between the two cars. The collision spun.
I couldn't have done anything different. To have a penalty so quickly, I think is pretty obvious. I think everyone can see what happened. We were side by side. Yeah, he had a nose ahead, but we're side by side. And he,
only 100 meters far. I think my start was too good, to be true. Really the best start of all season for me. I went for the gap in between the Toro Rossos, which was, where things got tight, and I got hit on the rear left, and it sent me into the wall. So.
In the end, there's not much to say. It's obviously a big shame for Nico, big shame for myself. I'm here and the race is still going on. I think those are the two things that...
On track, Esteban Gutierrez was running at reduced speed under the virtual safety car. It triggered a chain reaction that eliminated both Wehrlein's Manor and Ericsson's Sauber, as well as compromising his own race with front wing damage. His mirrors. Kvyat spun the Force India, leaving the many Mexicans in attendance deflated. Found himself on a collision course with Bottas and Vettel. Went horribly wrong for Grosjean, who got caught out by the treacherous conditions on his way to the grid. Now closed in on his teammate, but even 4-time world champions are vulnerable in these conditions. He ended up back to front to Inters, but Ericsson was soon out of control. And out of the race. He was at a premium, and further back, Palmer and Kvyat had locked wheels, leaving Jolien on the sidelines. The curb and nearly blew it. Max found he'd run out of room.